everybody, and welcome to Option Pit. This is the morning volatility report with Andrew Giovinazzi, Chief Operating Officer in Chicago. The good news, I'm in Chicago. The bad news is, Option Pit, we have a reduced schedule. You're going to see, for a couple of reasons this week, Option Pit is putting on a boot camp. Our pit reports are really, the moderated chat's only going to be till about 10 a.m. Central Time. Mark and I are getting some stuff ready for next year. Hopefully, everybody will like it, but this is our weekly, once a year we get together and try to organize things. So we'll have the boot camps will be going up. I believe they start Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a camp on Saturday. For, I believe, all Option Pit members, a full chat, full Option Pit Live subscribers and above, you get the boot camp for free. Also, obviously, all the recordings are available. All right, so let's go to the markets. I think really, you got to say the number one story is not the VIX. This is all marked up, down. Who's typing in the background? Who's coming in unmuted? Who's coming in unmuted? Why aren't I? Stop typing. Mute yourself. I don't know why this is being so difficult today. It's Mark's computer, that's why. I'm having a worse time with this than any other one. All right. This is a story. I'm sorry. How low oil can go. Catching the bottom here. I would not recommend being the falling knife catcher. I think there's some interesting plays in some of the individual producers that look good, that have a chance to gain market share, that might take over other companies. But as far as oil itself goes, you're just looking at this here. This is not looking so good. Right? Not looking so good. All right. So where do we stop? I have no idea. But at some point, oil prices will stop going lower. Just don't know when. Right now, all of a sudden, they're starting to cut prices to hold up market share, and that's the kind of stuff that can get kind of vicious. So in our strategy letter, we've had things like it's like a short oil position, maybe sell some out of the money puts in some of the producers. I still think we were blog on it a couple of days ago. I think it's still a trade that looks pretty good, considering oil has already done a big chunk of the slide, and I think it's a nice little hedge way to do it. All right. Let's take a look at vol here for a second. We'll take a look at the vol products. Okay. Volatility itself. Let's go to VIX. Just looking at this one here. And please come into the room muted. Please come into the room muted for the 90th time. Nobody wants to listen to me. And my mute button is not working. I don't know why Mark has it set up like this. It's aggravating. Anyway, volatility. VIX at 12.5. Mute! You tell I'm aggravated? In Chicago and away from my setup, and I'm already agitated. But now the recording's going to suck. Plus I'm getting mad. All right, vol. VIX at 12 3/4. It's a markup here mostly on the weekend effect. The S&P 500 is doing nothing. It's down 18. What is it? $1.80? Nothing. Okay. So from a vol point of view, now all of a sudden they're talking the G7 countries, lower oil prices could be a little bit of an uptick for everybody. Probably so. Okay, so for one part of the market, just self-mute, Bruce. On the left side, you can just mute your little green microphone. Click it and click mute. Yeah, but you enter and then mute. People are still not muted. That's the thing. Okay. It's for some, I'm on Mark's computer. I don't know why the mute all doesn't work when I'm the organizer. It's just GoToMeeting, this upgrade has not been kind to us. Anyway, from a vol point of view, what do we have? We have the kind of the same story, and I'd like to get the SPY up here. Let's get the SPX. Okay, realized vol still 6.5%. All right. So things that we're interested in, still maybe looking at some time spreads. I don't know about index time spreads right now, but the vol is certainly cheap. Anything I would do would be very short term, probably those short term flies in maybe the SPX NDX, depending on what looks best today. Maybe we'll take a look at a couple of those. For the most part, option pit, Mark and I are going to be very light doing anything new. I'm not doing anything new for myself because we're just going to be away from the desk for a good part of the day. So from just that point of view, the strength is in financials, and it's still in the financials. Oil's still weak, and I think vol, from that point of view, we have some decent future premium with VIX going out next week, and the last thing we'll just take a look at is where the VIX options are sitting. You know, we just saw an 11.5 VIX. And now if we pull up some options, let's pull up LiveVol Pro. What might be interesting, right? Okay. Let's start looking at something like the DEES 14 put for $1. DEES 14-13 spread for 50 cents. Okay. This type of trade is starting to look pretty interesting here. I have to say, these put spreads, right? If we can work into these put spreads for relatively cheap, okay, even the 13, 12.5, because we're just trading 11. So there is some pretty decent future premium left in here. We got 13.5 for the DEES future with a little over a week to go. Okay, and without really any huge major market moving news. So there is some considerable drift lower in the product. Other than that, that's about what we got. I'll see everybody else in the pit report. We're going to do kind of a pit report chat. We'll leave the chat room open all day, but we're only going to be moderating it for the beginning of the day, and that'll be it. The 12-11.5 ratio for 0 on Friday looked pretty good to me. You could see, I think 11.5 to 11 is probably a good potential on a low stopping point for VIX. I'm looking at it right now. DEES, I don't think you could do it now, right, Paul? When they were printing it lower, I think because we were lower on Friday. All right, everybody. With that, I will leave the room open. I'm going to have to make somebody an organizer. Am I looking at the same thing you are, DEES? I'm seeing the 12.5. You're saying a 12, 11.5. I don't see anything 11.5. I'm seeing no bid in DEES. Unless you can trade that one for what? A nickel? All right, we'll have to look at it in the pit report for a little bit. All right, I got to post this and get moving, guys. Okay, Steve, I will make you an organizer, and off we go. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you soon. All right, bye-bye.